Hi, I'm Jason Bunn-Parsons, and I'm the director of the Autism Ambassadors Corps, and we're starting on week 2 of the series Autistic Social Skills, even though this is actually the, third month, because last month was supposed to be part 2, but it wound up actually being a reboot of part 1 because I spent too much time, elaborating, on part 1 that I never got past too much. So anyways, I'm going to try better this time and actually do a fast overview of last month.
I already thought of it.
So anyways, well, but your mom has it. So your mom needs a quick crash course on some of this stuff. Okay, my number 1 point of emphasis about autistics, Aspies. Okay, autistics and Aspies are first and foremost human beings. 1, autistics and Aspies as all human beings do, the same inherent needs, wants, and desires. We just have some unique challenges in getting them met. 2, just because society treats us, the way society treats us makes us feel a certain way does not make it true, okay? In other words, we are not born on the wrong planet, and there's actually a autistic website, wrongplanet.com, and I understand why they feel, like they're from the wrong planet. For me, at the time I was diagnosed, I felt like I had this great big asterisk following me around. Okay, yeah, you're a nice guy, but I won't go out with you on a date for some unexplainable reason. Okay, yeah, you're a loyal, servant, but for whatever reason, we're just not sure that we can entrust you be in charge of this project. And so, there's this, asterisk following me around everywhere, and so, yes, so I totally understand, why we're made to feel this way, but just because we're made to feel this way doesn't make it true. And it's just like when I went to 12-step groups for codependency, I met a lot of ladies who were from domestic violence background, okay, and they were convinced to stay in those backgrounds because their abusers told them they were stupid, they were ugly, they can't make it on their own, no other guy will ever marry them, and all this other stuff. And their first step is just to realize that that isn't true and start believing in themselves, okay? And that's the same thing, we autistics Aspies have to do. And if you cannot do that, you will fail at social skills, because it's just that simple. You have to believe in yourself, believe that you belong here. And so, okay, the neurology of autism. Okay, definition of autism, and this. I wrote it, but it was critiqued by Dr. Brian Woodruff, a neurologist at Mayo Clinic who actually works with geriatric conditions. He got involved with our community for personal reasons. And so although I wrote it, he critiqued it to make sure it's 100% accurate with the consensus view of autism. Okay, there's no such thing as unanimous view, because no matter how much evidence you present, there's going to be somebody who says, no, everything you've been told is wrong, just believe me and ignore everybody else. So anyways. So this is the definition that Dr. Woodruff has given a seal of approval on. Autism is an atypical neurological connectivity paradox, resulting in heightened activity in certain areas of the brain and decreased activity in others compared to non-autistic individuals. Okay, atypical. 9 out of 10 individuals have similar range of development as well as means of completing certain routine tasks, problem solving, socialization, etc. The 10th individual is atypical. That doesn't necessarily mean, it's a neutral term, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're any better or any worse or the same. And with autistics, in certain areas we are disabled, and in other areas we are superior. Okay, and so that's one of the things we need to recognize, is that, okay, yeah, we have some very serious problems in certain areas, but we should not simply dismiss, the areas, those handful of areas where we show superior abilities in just because we get obsessed with our difficulties and our deficits, okay? Neurological connectivity, the simple explanation of this autism Asperger's is neurological in roots, a neuroconnectivity issue. Our neural connections are atypical, and Dr. Woodruff that did a thorough presentation on this, most of which went way over my head.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I'm not even going to try to elaborate on this, okay? There are plenty of people who will be more than happy to try to elaborate on this and give you all the details, and you're free to listen to them until your head implodes. You know, but I'm just going to keep it simple and say, as a matter of fact, autism is first and foremost a neuroconnectivity issue, and talk to the experts for more details. Okay, then paradox. The paradoxes of autism can result in autistics being extremely gifted in certain areas and extremely inept in others. The struggles autistics deal with are often aggravated by people who do not accept that autism is a paradox, focusing solely on one aspect of autism while refusing to acknowledge the paradoxical opposite. Okay, and as for me, I'm considered a high-functioning autistic. Okay, and so I'm online, and a number of parents are ripping the autistic self-advocacy movement. Says, oh no, those high-functioning autistics, they have no business speaking for my child. They don't know what it's like to not have bowel control. Like, excuse me, yes I do. Okay, bowel control and social skills are completely unrelated issues. Okay, completely separate regions of the brain. And my bowel control issues are the single most humiliating aspect of my upbringing. Okay, and then on the opposite end, we got those who are considered low functioning, and these parents just won't give their children a chance to exceed their expectations. Growing up in Wyoming, I actually have a little sister with Down syndrome. She's with the Wyoming Special Olympics, and the Special Olympics coach there asked my mom to talk to the other parents about what the Special Olympics coach referred to as handicap parenting, in which these parents were so obsessed with their child's handicap that they became their child's biggest handicap. Okay? The coach would be working with the child and be doing all this stuff. Then the parents show up, oh, my child can't do this. Actually, yes, they were. They were doing it until you showed up and interfered. And so, this was before smartphones and camcorders. This is 70s and 80s, and so she couldn't just take a little video of it and say, see, your child was doing that.
Yeah.
Let them try. Okay, so anyways. Brain plasticity. The brain of every life form on Earth is constantly changing, enabling it to adapt both positive and negative ways. This provides us with a scientific basis to believe that some of the areas that autistics aspies struggle with may self-correct or be modifiable. This is not to say that we'll ever outgrow autism Asperger's, but just because we struggled with something 10 to 20 years ago, we should not assume that we'll still struggle with it today. And we're discussing social skills, and that is a major thing. Is okay, yeah, we did not have the neuroconnectivity to engage in social skills when we were growing up. Okay, well, now your brain has progressed, and so it may now have not have that capacity. The question is, are you going to give yourself a second chance? Okay, and so up until you get past 40, I'm 48, and then the brain starts going the other way, and you start losing abilities. There's quite a few things that I can't do now that I used to be able to do 20 years ago, and of course my pastor's over here. How old are you?
You're retiring.
You're retiring. Yeah. Retiring. Yep. He keeps retiring, and they keep dragging him back in. So, but this is gonna be your last time, right?
I think so.
You think so? Anyway, so. But yes, brain plasticity is a fact that is completely neglected by the autistic community, the autism community. Okay, the fact is, that okay, maybe you could do it as an 8-year-old, but as an 18, 28, 38-year-old, you're not the same person you were, and you need to to recognize this, to give yourself a chance in order to develop these skills. Okay. Yes, nevertheless, eventually works in reverse. Okay, so now we're starting with the new material, stress and input processing issues. Okay. The status quo approach to this topic is to refer to sensory processing issues. However, this overlooks the fact that the human brain is not only taxed by the sensory input that it has to process, but also by all neural activity that draws upon the brain's neural capacity. Although a specific issue may push human beings over the edge, and note I said human beings, I didn't just say autistics, I said all human beings over the edge, we are often set up by an accumulation of previous issues. Okay, and the fancy term for that is antecedents. Okay, if you're working, as a caregiver, with people with various disabilities, that's one of the things that they teach you. Okay, they're having this behavior. Okay, well, what led up to it? What was the antecedent that led up to it? Okay, the best example of this in my personal life is that I can handle certain levels of noise while on public transportation as long as I'm not mentally focused on an issue that I'm looking for a solution for. Okay. Furthermore, I do not have headaches when I'm trying to find a solution in a quiet environment, no matter how challenging they may be. However, I have had headaches while riding on public transportation at a time when it was not any noisier than usual, when my brain was in problem-solving mode. Okay, there's another autism group over in Tempe, and so I would take the light rail there, and there was occasions where I would do presentations. Okay, and my brain, as part of its pre-presentation ritual, just thinks over, what I'm going to say. I already take time to do all the PowerPoints, and then I'm just, visualizing how I want to articulate everything and how people might respond to how I say this and all this stuff. Okay, and trying to do that, on the light rail. And it's fact because the light rail, if we're going to Tempe, okay, first of all, if there's a Diamondbacks baseball game, it's going to be packed. Okay, if there is an event at Tempe Town Lake, it is going to be packed. If there is a football game at ASU, it is going to be packed. Okay, and even if everybody on that train is perfectly well behaved, no drunks, nobody being loud or obnoxious, just it being packed, it's going to create a lot of noise. I can handle that if my brain isn't trying to work on something such as mentally preparing myself to do a presentation. Okay, and so if I do go to Tempe, to do a presentation, I have to make sure I get there at least an hour and a half early, just to make sure that my brain has time to slow down and refocus before I go and do a presentation. Because a couple of times, I didn't do that, and I showed up, and my brain was just spinning, so far out of control that I had a hard time getting started. And so yes, it's important to understand that, that yes, these sensory issues, we may be hypersensitive, to these issues, but it's not just, the sensory issues, it's everything, that taxes us mentally, that contributes to meltdowns and all the other, adverse reactions we might have. So, okay. Stress inflames all human struggles, and all human struggles inflame stress. Vicious little cycle. Okay. How overloads of stress and/or emotions can affect the autistic brain? Stress can trigger what some autistics describe as racing brain. Okay, it is when we have multiple thoughts and/or variations of how we might express what we want to say, coming to the forefront of our mind and making it difficult for us to make up our mind as to what we want to do or say. Okay, and I'm part of a autistic aging research study through Barrow Neurological, and Dr. Baxter was talking to me, about this questionnaire, that they had us do as far as anxiety, and what how anxiety affects us, and she noted that there was a distinct difference between autistics and non-autistics. Non-autistics describe the symptoms of a heart attack. Okay, autistics describe racing brain. Okay, where our brain is just accelerating. Okay, and she said that it's not true in every case. However, she's also noticing that some of the patients that have come to her have actually been misdiagnosed. They don't actually have autism. They have a variation of dementia, that mimics certain aspects of autism, which we covered last month. Actually the last 2 months. But anyway, yes, racing brain, is a major factor. Okay. The second and third of the following attributes can also result in autistics responding to emotional situations in a way that causes those around them to believe that they lack empathy. And the last three ways autistics are affected by stress mimics the signs of aging, fatigue, etc. Okay, one, meltdowns. Okay, this is the headliner issue that everybody knows about. Now, let me tell you about the issues that nobody knows about because they're not talking to us. Shutdowns. Okay, and a previous church I went to, First Arabic Baptist. I was a sound guy, even though I'm terrible dealing with technology and everything. But somebody had to do it, so I was the worst IT guy you could ever ask for, but I did it anyways. And I would get so stressed out, trying to figure out how to make this system, which was old and actually too large for the church, causing other problems like feedback and sound people would understand why you don't want too big of a sound system in too small of a building. Anyways, but I would get so frustrated, and Pastor Jamal would ask me, okay, what's going on? And I wouldn't be able to verbalize to him what was going on in my brain, because my brain would be racing so fast that I literally became nonverbal. Okay, and so this is something, for people to consider, when they're talking about why some autistics are nonverbal. That this might give some insight into how we might help nonverbal autistics possibly become verbal. And I can't say I know this for a fact. Nobody will work with me to try, to see if we can do something about this. But anyways, but yes, and recognizing that, and as far as when I've had what people would consider to be meltdowns, basically me getting irritated. I don't throw chairs, but but in any case, but basically, prior to the meltdown, my brain was trying to shut down, but the stressors wouldn't back up. Whether particular people, trying to, prod me along, but that's the thing is also, preempting, meltdowns is recognizing when the child is shutting down. Okay, again, the antecedent of the meltdown. Okay, and recognizing this, maybe if they can recognize this in advance, they can preempt the meltdowns. Yeah. If somebody would consider this possibility. And so, then paralysis by analysis.
Every day.
Every time I mention this term, in a group of autistics, they're all like, I don't even need to explain. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Just overanalyzing. Yeah. Okay, and talking about the social environment. You're trying to figure out, okay, how do I respond to my peers? Okay, when all your peers are different. Okay, one peer is a jerk, the other peer is nice, another peer doesn't care about you. Yeah. So what can I say instead? Paralysis by analysis. That's something that's that we definitely and basically it's actually one of our strengths turning against us, because basically we have the capacity to generate lots and lots of ideas. Not to say that all our ideas are good ideas, but if you're wanting to have a planning committee and you're just wanting ideas, we'll give you all the ideas you ever want.
Yeah.
Okay? The problem is, when stress gets kicked in, and the brain starts thinking of 1,001 ways this could go wrong, yeah, it's great, to come up with contingency plans, but when you're coming up with a contingency plan, if a meteor strikes the Earth, you can get ridiculous, and so you wind up not taking any action whatsoever, and so this is a major problem for just about every autistic I've ever said that word to. Okay, decrease in what might already be subpar motor skills, which I elaborated on last month. Decrease in already subpar executive functioning, again last month. Extreme reliance on procedures, rigid protocols, and rehearsed solutions. Again, I elaborated on those last month. And as I said, going into the section, these last three also mimic the signs of aging, fatigue, and stuff like this. There have been times where it's been really hot outside, so I go in and I order food from a fast food restaurant, and I go to pay, and I reach out this, and they say, "We're sorry, we don't accept that." My bus pass. And it's happened on more than one occasion.
Yep.
And it seems to happen when it's over 100 degrees out. Gee, is there a connection there?
Yeah.
And my mom will point out that it happens a lot to me when I haven't had breakfast. Okay, and oh yeah, she harps on me about the choices that I make that aren't in my best interest, that I don't eat right. Okay, and I plead guilty, to that. I know she's fully right, and so this is something important to realize is that our neurology causes us some problems, but we can also do it to ourselves, and we can make a lot better choices to limit a lot of these problems, to reduce the effect of a lot of these problems. Okay, so sensory areas of the brain. Okay, our five senses pertain to the external sensory perceptions of the world around us. I actually had some other slides to this, but basically the point of the slide is it's not just limited to the five senses. When we're talking about the sensory areas of the brain, they're not just talking about, okay, here's hearing, here's smell. Okay, we also have other stuff. Okay, they're showing speech, they're showing language, and body awareness. Okay, that's a sensory issue. Okay, and this is something that Sue Gulabach, she's a now retired occupational therapist who was the co-organizer of the autism group that I went to, and an autistic herself, and so she understood autism from both a personal and professional point of view. It's helping me to understand that when we're talking about the sensory processing issues, we're not just talking about the five senses. Okay, sensory input, has to do with a lot more stuff than just the five senses. Okay, because of autism's atypical neurological connectivity, the autistic brain may process input in an atypical manner, resulting in one, hypersensory input, resulting in extreme sensitivity and over responsiveness to certain sensory stimuli. And you actually had some of that because we're rolling out the round tables, and to get the legs to, you got to give them a good slap there, causing a loud bang, and you're like, oh, and and as I described earlier, I'm having more hyper, hearing issues, just getting older, Okay, hyposensory, resulting in less responsiveness to certain sensory stimuli. Okay, and for me, I have hyposensory smell. Okay, unless the smell has to be really, really strong, almost offensive to other people before I'll pick up on the smell. And so there are autistics, that do have the hypo issues, and then confused sensory processing, resulting in impaired ability to decipher sensory input. A few years ago, I went to ASU because I wanted to do some research, and when you get off the light rail, you go straight down the walkway that divides ASU, east to west.
Yeah.
Okay, is it something for whatever they call it?
Yeah, you cross from this
Yeah.
the Tempe. Well, there's
Yeah.
stops. I mean,
Yeah, but the one over by Sun Devil State.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in front of Sun Devil State. But anyway, so it goes. So I was going down that walkway, and I hear the clicking sound of somebody on a 10-speed bike who stopped pedaling. Okay, who was coasting. Okay. But it was somewhere outside my visual range, and so obviously I'm wanting to make visual contact so I don't accidentally walk in front of them. And so I started looking around trying to find him. But before I could, I started hearing the rumbling sound of a skateboard going over the cracks in the sidewalk. Now I had two separate potential hazards, and I could not make visual contact with any of them, and I had the onset of an anxiety panic attack. In which, that these sounds, it was like I was completely surrounded by these sounds. It had a whirlwind effect on me, like I was completely surrounded by them. And all I could do is just close my eyes and clench my fists and wait for the sounds to go away. I was completely incapacitated at that point because I could not decipher where these sounds were coming from. And part of it is that I do have trouble, tracking sounds, which I'm now starting to think that may not actually be my autism, might actually be the fact that I build up earwax like crazy in my left ear, okay, which could be knocking off my ability to, and so unless my autism is somehow affecting the, whatever gland or however the earwax is produced. I don't know enough about anatomy, know how the earwax is produced, but in any case, it may actually be that rather than my autism, but I do have problems tracking the source of sounds, and when my phone rings, I'm running around in circles trying to find it. Now I'm listening for where it's getting louder. Is it getting louder? No, it's getting softer. Okay, so try over this way. Okay, and that's what I have to do to find my phone, because I can't just like, oh, it's over there. As soon as it starts ringing. And so
I would say sometimes for me it's the opposite, because my mom was, I like to have lots of noise, like radio, TV on, just to keep my mind at level, because like I have to deal with silence, so I don't know. Yeah, I get overwhelmed by all my thoughts,
Okay. We'll address that in stimming, because I think that might actually be a form of stimming. I'll explain in a little bit. Okay.
That's what
I'll explain it right now. Okay. Good timing there. Okay, what is stimming? Okay, the stimmer's concept of stimming. Okay, the involuntary repetitive motion resulting from executive neural activity. Okay, now this is traditionally what's considered stimming. But when you understand why we stim, what you're doing, you're doing for the same reason, as anyone's. Okay, the professional concept of stimming. Okay, the involuntary repetitive motion that serves no function. Okay, note there's been some movement in this area since Sue Galwak retired in 2012, and she's the one. Because I originally, presented this to her, for her to, check my concepts, and she was the one that explained, well, yeah, that's our perception, but, as of 2012, the time she retired in 2012, her colleagues thought that stimming served no function. It was just something annoying that autistics did, and they needed to break us, of doing that. Okay, and nevertheless, there has been some progress, but I'm not sure if it's now, what percentage of professionals now have finally accepted this. But anyways, the stimmer is doing one or more of the following: thinking deeply about something, burning off sensory overload, okay, expressing their emotions, be it positive or negative, examples: anxiety, excitement, pleasure, etc. Communicating okay.
Something wrong with themselves.
Yeah, and or their environment, yes. So.
Is it too hot in here?
No, it's fine.
So, anyways, and so again, that this is more than traditional stimming, but what you're talking about is you're trying to block out. Well, basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to slow your brain down, okay? And this is what what stimming does, is that the brain is racing, okay? And so by doing the rocking,
This thing with straws.
and straws, and it's well, when I first started doing these presentations, and people were interacting with me, and they were challenging me, and I would be stimming, like this, because my brain was being worked. And so, right now, because I'm standing perfectly still, you guys are being easy on me. Come on, give me something tough to respond to.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, but yeah, because I'm a firm believer that's to just go ahead. That's how you learn. You learn about something by agreeing to do a presentation, because then it motivates you to do the research behind to do the presentation, and it's the research project that actually teaches you about that, and so I try to convince autistics, just go ahead and do a short presentation. You don't have to sound like a professional. Just talk about what autism is for you. How does your autism affect you? That was my very first presentation, was after a year and a half of being under Sue and Tara. Tara Marshall was a speech-language pathology assistant who's also an autistic, was the co-organizer of that group. Anyways, so after being in their group, I basically wanted to do a presentation where I basically put everything together, what they taught me and how what they taught me applied to myself. And so this is what autism is to me, because if you're going to be an advocate, that's all you need to explain. Okay, you don't need to know you don't need to explain to anybody how my autism affects me. You only need to explain how it affects you.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wanting to be an autistic advocate and advocate on behalf of the entire community, yes, you need to have a much broader understanding. But if you're dealing with a potential employer, co-worker, friends, family, whoever, you only need to explain yourself. You don't need to explain me.
Yeah.
That's my job. My job is to explain
every person
me.
I've met in these groups is completely different. It's different issues, so.
And so, yeah, you don't need to worry about the rest of the people. You just need to worry about yourself. Who are you?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Who are you? And so, yeah, I'm a big advocate of that, but not very many. In fact, I don't think any autistic has actually took me up on that offer. No, the only autistics I know that were presenting anyways. So I can't take credit for Sam or David or any of the other East Valleys, because they were doing it anyway. So okay, when you eliminate and that this is again gets back to them trying to get us to stop stimming because it annoys them. Okay, when you eliminate a non-communicative person's ability to stim, you may be taking away one of their few means of communication and of self-expression. It is the equivalent of cutting out their tongue, and especially if they're in distress. Okay, their stimming is because there's something wrong in the environment, and it's their only way of figuring out of telling you that there's something wrong with the environment, and you need to pay attention to that. Not just say, need to have quiet hands, quiet hands. Again, back at First Arabic Baptist, one of the things that I did, stimming, is pacing. I pace all the, I drive people nuts with my pacing. And if I'm pacing, it means my brain is on something. Doesn't, okay, maybe I'm upset, maybe I'm brainstorming. Okay, I've had so many people say, why are you so stressed out? I'm not stressed out. If you weren't stressed out, you wouldn't be pacing. It's like, well, no, actually I pace for other reasons. All the pacing says is that my brain is actively working on something. Okay, and Jamal, he recognized, that he needed to look me in the face to determine, what my mood was. Was I upset? Was I excited? What it was, and then have me verbalize whatever was going on in my head, and then I immediately stop stimming. Okay, and so again, we get back to the non-communicative autistic who can't verbalize. Okay. That's part of that difficulty for them, is that, again, it's their only way of communicating. And so you need to pay attention. Do they have a big smile on their face? Well, maybe they're happy to see you. Are they stressed? Then there's something wrong. Pay attention to what they're trying to say with their stimming. Did I? Okay.
No.
Okay. Trying to find the right balance between the stimmer's need to stim and the group's need to not be distracted has to be addressed on a case-by-case basis. Because, if somebody was doing a loud outburst, during Sunday service while you're trying to present the message, it would be quite challenging. And actually, we had an autistic over at First Arabic Baptist, a much lower functioning autistic, who every so often would just run up to the front of the church and want to shake Pastor Jamal's hand, because he was a really friendly guy, and he would just do it, and everybody was understanding about it, and it's like, okay, shake his hand, okay, now you need to go back to your mom and dad. He was 16 years old, and he would just run up to the front of the church, right in the middle of the sermon to shake the pastor's hand. And that was okay. He never did any kind of major outburst. But anyways, and his parents were so embarrassed by it. And the congregation was like, don't worry, we understand. You don't need to be embarrassed. He's just being friendly. There's nothing wrong with being friendly. And he just had the impulse control issues to not be able to comprehend that you're really not supposed to be friendly in the middle of the pastor's sermon. You're supposed to be quiet. Anyways, so atypical personal bubble issues of autistics. Okay, autistics who process sensory input in a variety of atypical manners may be naturally inclined to respond to people in close proximity to them in a manner that is atypical. Okay? Non-autistics who observe these responses may come to the erroneous conclusions, including but not limited to thinking that autistics, A, don't want affection. That is wrong. Okay? Just because a lot of autistics have issues with being hugged, okay, that doesn't mean they don't want affection. That means that there's a specific sensory, I can't think of the right word, a sensory issue that's occurring, an adverse sensory reaction to being hugged, okay, is at play. That does not mean that they don't want affection. You just need to find a different way of showing affection. Okay? Lack empathy. That is one of the most dehumanizing things you can accuse us of, because humanity depends on empathy. If we did not have the capacity for empathy with, okay, somebody gets in a car accident, the car's on fire, oh well, too bad. Everybody just walks on and lets the person burn to death. Humanity depends on empathy, and claiming that we don't have empathy is the most dehumanizing thing you can accuse us of. Okay? Are manifesting phobias, okay? And no, okay? Okay. what autistics may actually be experiencing are, one, adverse physiological reactions to touch, especially light touch, because it is very stimulating to our nervous system. Countermeasures for this may include a deep pressure touch, which relaxes the senses. And this is something that I learned from both Sue and Tara. Tara, you cannot touch her. She doesn't really like to shake people's hands. She does it because it's expected of her as a co-leader. But she doesn't like physical touch, yet she goes to a massage therapist. Okay, because the massage therapist does deep pressure. And this is one of the things that Sue explained, is that yes, deep pressure relaxes. Now for me, deep pressure is annoying because I don't like the pressure. And so if I'm going to get a massage, I like medium. I like medium pressure massages. I do not like deep massages. And so let's see here. This may be more
Palatable and
beneficial means of physical interaction. Allow the autistic to initiate physical contact. This is something that my mom noted with one of my cousins, that now that I've been diagnosed and she's looking at other relatives that she suspects, okay, there's a certain cousin, you could not hug him. However, after he got comfortable with you, he would come and lean up against you, okay? If he initiated the physical contact, it was okay.
Right.
But if somebody else initiated the physical contact, he would push away, okay? And so, so in some of it might actually, be theorizing, it might actually have more to do with and you don't view it this way, but as a restraint. You're restraining a hyperactive, individual, okay, and it may actually be more of an issue of them not wanting to be restrained. It's just a theory that I'm kicking around, in order to make sense of it, because my mom says, back when I was younger, okay, that yes, I would push her away, when I would be sitting, leaning back against her, and she would hug me, I would push her away. But my grandma, she would set me on her lap, and I wish my mom was able to come here. She's not feeling well right now. To explain exactly what my grandma did, which was completely different. She didn't, do the bear hug. She did something different, and I wish my mom was here. Mom, where are you? Anyways, so trouble judging the distance that something is to them, and this is a major issue for me, and the direction that the sound is coming from, which I already addressed earlier. Sometimes, when I'm trying to cross the street, okay, I'm looking to see if it's safe, and I'm trying to figure out, how far away that car is and how long it'll be before it gets to me. And a lot of times, by the time I figure that out, it's no longer safe for me to cross, because it just took me so long, to make those mental calculations.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that then you stop and think, okay, well, how is that going, to affect me in other areas, such as, okay, I'm in a restaurant, okay, and there's movement, okay, and I'm constantly tracking, everybody that's moving, and this is where people think, oh, you're stressed, you're anxious. Like, no, it's completely a reflex, and I think a lot of it, that I'm theorizing, is that because it takes me longer to assess, okay, is this person going to turn left or right? It takes me longer, to figure that out. My brain compensates by having a bigger bubble, so I have more time to figure out, what they're going to do, and people wind up, completely misinterpreting this, especially young ladies who, who think that I'm some creepy old guy, watching them, but also I've had some homosexuals think that I was interested in them, and so, no, I just track movement, and it takes a lot of mental energy for me to override, that impulse when somebody's in the room who I know is uncomfortable with it, and I'm making a deliberate attempt to focus my attention on that doorknob because I'm not going to look at that person because I don't want them to think that I'm some kind of a scary creep, and so yeah, this has caused me problems, and so. Anyways, in fact, I have a friend. He has he works at home, and that is a computer job, and basically that is the only way he can hold a job because he's had past experiences where women were accusing him of sexual harassment. He's like, well, which woman was it? Well, we can't tell you. Well, then how am I supposed to know? And that was the problem. They were misinterpreting his actions, filing sexual harassment complaints on him, and then not being told who filed the complaint against him. Because they had to protect the women. It's like, well, and so he's basically has a job that allows him to hide in his house, in order to do his job. So. Okay, hyperactive sensory processing, which may require them to preserve a bigger bubble in order to, A, have enough time to process the input that the brain is receiving before responding, which I already elaborated on. Focus on what they are thinking about instead of what's happening around them. And that's another thing is, okay, I'm trying to talk to somebody, and I see movement, and I just simply move over to the side here because I just want to get them out of my peripheral view. Just settle down. They're not a threat. Like, no, I didn't think they were a threat. They were distracting me. That's all it was. I wasn't scared. It was not a phobia. It was a distraction. Okay? Right now, I'm trying to think about what I want to say to you. Okay? And I don't need their sensory input of them just walking by, interfering with my ability to concentrate on what I want to say to you. Okay? And this is, again, people think that it's always a phobia. Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
We have cats, and some that meow sometimes when they're really intense thought, or sometimes they'll make a noise, you guys, and they're really upset. I have to hold my breath and calm down for a moment. But like if I'm really deep in thought on something else.
Okay, for autistics whose stimming repertoire includes pacing, need to preserve a big enough bubble so they can pace/stim. Okay, this is particularly for me at a bus stop. Okay, a crowded bus stop, and I'm just wanting to pace around, and more people are coming, and so I'm, trying to, just get them out of my peripheral so I can go back to my pacing. That's me at the bus stop, and at a crowded bus stop, when there's a lot of people there, especially if the bus is late, especially if it's 100 degrees out. And so, okay, stress and input processing solutions. Yes, there are solutions. Okay. Minimizing the impact of sensory processing issues. Okay, these are all no-brainers. Okay, although not every autistic aspie is going to struggle in this area to the same extent, considering the following solutions if you are. Okay, 1, find environments with little or no deliberate stimulation. What I mean by deliberate stimulation is that there are places that want to stimulate you as much as possible. My friend and I, who happens to be autistic as well, we went to see the new Star Wars movie, at IMAX. Okay. No, it wasn't Star Wars, it was Dunkirk. Okay. And he was fine with it, you know, and I spent half the time, you know, like this, covering my ears, and I was just fine, you know, because it wasn't that bad where this wasn't adequate enough, but yeah, you know, there are places and you know, and a lot of these stores, okay, that they want to get the customer's attention, so let's be louder than the store next to us, and for us, it's like, no. And so, so you know, it'd be nice, you know, to explain to the merchants that there is a niche customer base that doesn't want stimulation, and if they would, you know, promote themselves as you know, as a place where there's no artificial stimulation or delivery or whatever, you know, sensory friendly, they would have people willing to actually go a little out of the way, maybe even pay a little bit more money to do business with them, just so they're not being stimulated. You know, no unnecessary stimulation. You know, and so, you know, and we're talking about, you know, why is the rate of autism increasing? Right now, and there's several reasons, and a lot of it is that a lot of us might not be getting diagnosed if it wasn't for our sensory issues. It wouldn't be aggravated in an Amish society, an 1800s society. You know, societies that were just noisy.
Yeah.
So.
We have a lot of stimulation in this environment.
Smaller groups means that there are fewer people to create more stimuli, and I cannot figure out why this is not the core strategy for helping autistics create social circles.
Yeah.
It is so bloody obvious.
It's like, you know, when we met with Mel, it was like I had enough time at least to engage and get words edgewise. Otherwise, the oxygen kind of gets sucked out of the room, either by you know, other people who might not be autistic conversing between themselves, or we have to, with a smaller group, I just have to like wait.
With a larger group, I'll melt into the background.
Yeah, that's just,
you know, that's what I do. Yeah, I know the larger the group, the more likely it is that I will melt into the background.
Yeah.
You know, because just trying to start a cold conversation with somebody that I don't know, such as going to Mel's group. Okay, I know Mel.
Yeah.
Okay, and I imagine Anthony would have been there.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Okay, so you and Mel and Mel's mom are the only three I would have known there. So if the three of you were already in conversations, who would I have to talk to?
Yeah.
So
it's just that establishment, getting comfortable.
Yeah. And so developing emergency protocols for situations in which you get ambushed by a flood of unexpected stimuli. Hey, that's life. You are going to get ambushed every time you turn around. You can plan everything out to the T, and something completely beyond your control is going to happen. Deal with it. Okay? You just got to learn to deal with it. Okay? We're going to be talking about how to deal with it. Okay? Hypersensitivity to stress and emotions. It is critical for autistics/Aspies to realize that most, if not all, of our struggles may simply be more severe variations of the same issues that everyone else struggles with. This understanding can lead us to integrate some of the countermeasures in our overall self-management strategy that may be needed that may need to be more extensive than others. That this may also enable autistics to eventually be weaned off of off their needs for special accommodations. And see here. Okay, any strategy for dealing with any area of struggle must be at least two-pronged. If your stress management technique is effective, then it'll be easier to alleviate your other struggles. If your strategy for alleviating these other struggles are more effective, then your stress will decline automatically. Okay, I cannot say that there are effective countermeasures for every issue that autistics struggle with. However, there are effective countermeasures for many of these issues. Although positive thinking does not guarantee success, negative thinking guarantees personal failure. So, okay. Controlling stress and emotions. Techniques that enable neurotypicals to manage their stress and emotions will also work for autistics Aspies. Okay, and again, I went to a 12-step program for codependency, and back in my 20s, and this is what one of the things that we learned was stress management, conflict resolution. I didn't even know I was autistic at the time. I just thought I was like everybody else, and I used the same strategies as everybody else, and it worked just as well for me. Okay, the only difference is that the disciplined lifestyle that is required is optional for neurotypicals, because they can often struggle through that. Could you give me a water, please, Pastor? Could you give me a water, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they can often struggle through without them. Autistics, Aspies, because of their inherent higher baseline stress level, have to discipline themselves in order to use these techniques if they are going to overcome these situations. Okay. And by the way, I just illustrated a pretty good point. Once my voice started crashing, I started getting a little frustrated, and I started stimming. If you notice me doing that, I didn't think about doing it. It's just, I'm trying to get through this, and then all of a sudden my voice crashes right in the middle of the slide, and so yeah, that's an example of, yeah, okay. And so yeah, these stress management, techniques, like I said, I went to a group with lots of people, who had to learn these, and these skills did not come natural to neurotypicals either. They had to learn them. They had to discipline, and they had to come to a realization that they needed them, that their life was better off disciplining themselves and learning these skills. Whereas other people that I've met, also neurotypicals, also having, stress, that they're living far more stressful lifestyles than they need, but they're able to, to level through it. An autistic would simply, break down. We would not be able to handle, that level of stress. So we have to learn these techniques in order to bring our stress level down, in order that we can function. And so is autism a disability, or is it a catalyst to get people to do what they should be doing anyways? So overcome the situations. Their loved ones, teachers, caregivers, etc., can help them by developing these disciplines in themselves in order that they can mirror them to the autistic Aspie. Okay? Any behavior that you want to teach a child, I don't care what their neurology is, their neural configuration is, if the parent teacher mirrors it to the child, they're more likely to develop. Mirroring the behavior is a lot more affecting than yelling at the child for not doing something that you're not doing yourself. Hypocrisy doesn't work. Anyways. The disciplines needed need to include preemptive countermeasures that keeps the individual's baseline stress level as low as possible, and emergency response protocols for when they get ambushed by unforeseen circumstances. And so preemptive countermeasures. Daily activities to reduce stress, and there are so many different school of thoughts on this, whichever one works for you. Some people go running, some do exercise, some do reading, whatever works for you.
I exercise a lot just to,
Yeah.
like my brain will get flustered and I have to.
Yeah.
Anyway, just go on.
Yeah. So, avoid or eliminate known adjutants whenever possible. Again, that's kind of obvious, you know. Utilize strategies for dealing with situations that cannot be avoided or eliminated. Okay, and this is something that the autism community doesn't talk about. The strategy presented by the autism community is to have second and third parties to intervene on our behalf. I have never heard anybody but myself. Well, actually, Sue finally did a presentation, where we talked about the different things we do, but that was a one-time thing, but all in all, if you go to these autism organizations where they're going to, to teach you about the stress that autistics deal with, okay, they're going to teach you that the way you handle it is that you have to, coordinate with everybody around, the autistic in order to solve all their problems and clean up all their messes. Okay, the idea that we can develop our own strategies, to respond to these situations is simply not being taught. And if there is, I would love somebody to send me a link, showing me a PDF of any document from any organization where they actually instruct specific strategies, on how autistics, can deal with these situations, or a video, where they're talking about specific strategies to utilize. Okay, until somebody shows that to me, I'll continue to say that nobody is doing it. So, okay, crisis response countermeasures. One, take a break. Okay, and that is something that poor First Arabic Baptist paid the price for me to learn. Sorry, Pastor Jamal, but when I'd be getting so stressed out, okay, is that I would get into this mindset, okay, I cannot take a break now because I got to solve this problem right now, so that way I'm not waiting to the last minute. And in my efforts to try to prevent the stress, that comes from, waiting to the last minute, I'm putting on myself at the very beginning, and then I just can't think straight. Okay, and this was my own fault. I can't blame anybody but myself, because Pastor Jamal, was trying, to assist me, but I wouldn't cooperate, with him attempting to, get me to talk about what's going on, and in order to deal with these issues. But yeah, you need to make yourself take a break, because otherwise you're not going to be able to solve the problem.
See, you were just talking about that, like today when I'm writing, like, I have to get this done now. And I can't leave until I get this done. I'll be so stressed out about waiting for it to get done, and then,
Yeah.
I don't know, I finished it, but, it's horrible feeling.
Yeah. So, don't take yourself so seriously, especially in casual situations, and a lot of this is a product of the bullying that us autistics endure as, when we were younger, is that, that we're not allowed to make mistakes. We have to be perfect, because if we're not perfect, we're going to get made fun of. I remember, explaining that, over a new line, like, you can't be perfect. It's not possible. I just had to learn, that it's okay to make mistakes. And to not get, self-acceptance. Okay. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Okay. It's a motto that was developed over there, and it's something that I had to that I had to embrace, is the idea that I'm just going to do my best job, and if that's not good enough for that person, well, that's on them. If that's not good enough for my boss, I guess he'll just have to fire me, and I'll just go. But yeah, you just have to take that that mindset, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself insane.
That's a good one for you.
Yeah.
Okay. For have personal pep rallies, okay? As a Christian, there's certain things, that, Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to them who love the Lord, called according to their purpose. And whenever I get frustrated because things aren't working out, that's my little pep rally that I give myself, to say, you know what, tied into the previous, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Between those two, it's like, okay, I did my best, and just let it go, and implement whatever situations are appropriate to, coping mechanism that works for you. Okay. The first time I did an autism conference, I actually hosted one over at Word of Grace Church from 2011 to 2013. It was an annual conference, and first time there was all kinds of problems. First of all, they just put in a new fire alarm system, and so it was malfunctioning when we showed up. And so my mom and I agreed with this loud buzzing noise, and so. And then basically all the technology in that church conspired against me in order to absolutely frustrate me. And so I was the lead presenter. I walked up to the podium, and like I said earlier, a shutdown. I had a shutdown. I could not get a word to come out of my mouth. I could not organize a full sentence in my head. Okay, and so what did I do? I took a deep breath. I did my two previous things, the personal pep rally, and then I labeled my way through it. Okay, and what I mean is, I love Legos growing up. And sometimes you just reach into the box, grab a bunch of Legos, just put them together, look at it, and then it starts taking form. Then you start grabbing specific Legos to build onto it. Before you know, you have a spaceship. And that's basically. What I had to do, because I did the preparations as far as doing the material, and I just blurted out the first sentence that came to my mind, and I just started going from there. And eventually, I got my rhythm, and it wound up being effective. It was nothing like I intended, but I got my message across. And so that's what I had to do in that situation. In that situation, I could not walk away. I couldn't just simply walk off the stage, because that would have discredited me as a presenter. I had to find a way. Especially with the next presenter up being Sue, she would not have been happy with me, just all of a sudden dumping it on her, saying, Sue, just do something. Like, what? I'm not up for an hour and a half. So anyways, she would not have appreciated me doing that. Okay. Okay, so use a primary focal point. Okay. This is something that I actually started developing over at First Arabic Baptist. Okay, I was one of the people that, the ushers that collected the money. Okay, and one of the things that I noticed is that I would get the money, and I would hold the money bag out so that way nobody would think that that I'm over the side here, maybe lining my pocket, for the integrity of it, just holding it in front of here, weaving my way, through the traffic, at the end of the service in order to go into the back room, and me and somebody else's money counters, count up the money, and it developed into an actual technique for dealing with large crowds. Okay, is basically. Let's say that I'm at a restaurant, and I'll just hold my hand up, or any large crowd, I'll just hold my hand up, okay, and I'll actually lead my hand through. One time I was over at the county fair, okay, and it was crowded, and I had a large drink. And anybody who'd been watching me, they would have thought I was just simply balancing my drink, make sure I didn't spill. What I was actually doing is using it as my focal point, because I was so I was just looking just beyond this. By doing this, it allowed me to push out the stuff on my peripheral, focus on this in order that I did not overload with all the extra activity, okay? And so, this is why I talk about using a primary focal point. Well, actually, this is example 2, example 1, actually. Okay, constructive self-talk that enables you to focus your thoughts on what you're trying to say, such as focus, concentrate, find a solution. Come on, and I do that a lot of times. And this is not schizophrenia. I'm not talking to somebody else. I'm giving myself instruction. Okay. Originally, autistics, were being diagnosed was viewed as a form of schizophrenia, and this might have been part of it. Is they're talking to themselves. Well, they're giving themselves instructions.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and if I can't, find my wallet, okay, where have you not looked yet? Look someplace else, because I'll keep looking in the same place. I'll look, spot A, then spot B, back to spot A, spot C, back to spot A, spot D, back to spot, look someplace else. It's not in spot A, stop looking at spot A. It's an executive functioning issue, but it's done constructively. I'm not calling myself stupid. You idiot! Why can't you find? I was doing that. Prior to my diagnosis and me not understanding that I had these specific issues, I was doing a lot of negative self-talk when I was having the executive functioning issues. And once I understood that had nothing to do with my intelligence, it was what I was, and just simply, just accept it and again, using the positive self-talk, okay? Using guide hand, which I just demonstrated, may enable you to block out excessive stimuli. The use of waypoints and bases, okay? This is my Walmart strategy, okay? Walmart can be very crowded, okay? And so the way that just about every Walmart is set up is you go in they're really large buildings, and they have the posts every so often. And so if it is really that crowded, okay, I'll just focus myself on one of those poles and just do the hand guide, okay, take a breather, look around, and then find another hole. And that's what I would have to do if I have to go to Walmart when it's crowded, but better to avoid it if all possible. If you have to, okay, I just need to find an opening, enough an opening in the crowd just to walk to this point. Okay, take a breath. All right, now find another opening, spell out, and get to the next point. Okay, take a breath until I finally get past the front aisle, in which case, it's not so congested, but getting into the front of the store can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's my Walmart strategy. If I absolutely have to go there when it's crowded, that's my Walmart strategy.
That's a good strategy.
Running your hand along a wall or handrail can help autistics. Okay.
Spatially orient.
Okay. I don't even know what I typed. Okay. Yeah, anyway, okay. It helps us, okay. First of all, by eliminating the guesswork at which way oncoming traffic is going to veer in order to avoid colliding, with one another, such as, one of my favorite restaurants is a Culver's, okay, and so, so I take my order and I see somebody else, coming, and I'm trying to figure out, are they going to go left or go right, okay? They're going to go right, because I just went over here, I'm all the way to the left. So now I know that they're going to go to the right. No more guesswork, okay? Creating deep pressure as a means of self-relaxation. Running your hand along here creates sensory stimuli, which can actually be relaxing. Okay? And then 3, walking. Okay, you're old enough to remember the old phone book commercials. Your fingers do the walking, give them a snap.
Yep. I
Okay?
remember that.
Yes, you remember that. Your son doesn't remember that. You remember that.
He doesn't know where a phone book is.
Yes, I do. I grew up in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, just walking my fingers along and, talking about, previously mentioned silly or juvenile aspect of basically, yes, it's being silly. It's just not taking yourself so seriously, and I'll actually get into that when we're talking about, stages of social development, is that, we're a little bit delayed, in terms of, wanting to act like we're 10 years older than what we actually are. That usually starts with our peers around 3rd grade. Okay, meanwhile, we're still acting like we're in kindergarten, we're still being silly. We're not trying to convince our peers that my dad can beat up your dad. We don't care, And so, and so that's, one of the things. It's just a way of me to say, hey, relax. Doesn't matter, so. Anyways. D withdrawals. This may be necessary for those autistics who do not have effective coping mechanisms to handle certain situations, which sometimes includes me. Sometimes, the bus is just, just so out of control, noisy, because, the bus driver doesn't want to, stop the bus and call the police every time some drunk is being a jerk. If that happened, the buses would be worse than they are as far as being on time. And so sometimes I had to simply get off the bus and wait for the next bus, however, all autistics and their loved ones need to consider the possibility that the autistic can eventually develop coping mechanisms needed for that situation, okay? And just simply not being the first option. It was, what, the 5th or 6th option?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the last option, okay? And that gives me a lot higher quality of life than an autistic in which that's their first option. Then they don't get to do anything that they want because they're running away as soon as something goes wrong. And so they never get to do anything that they want. If you want to do what you want to do, kind of suck it up a little.
Yeah, I know.
Post-crisis assessment. Okay. Assessing what happens before, during, and after a crisis is an important first step to self-improvement. After a crisis has passed, you need to ask yourself the following questions. What exactly happened? The stress and emotion that can taint our ability to assess what actually happened, what just happened, includes were those who gave us the stress and emotion that can taint our ability to assess what actually happened. I think I accidentally deleted a slide somewhere. Were those giving us input being critical, judgmental, insulting, etc., or were they actually understanding of our situation and trying to be helpful? Because sometimes, yes, you can be overly sensitive, especially when you're used to being criticized. You are too quick to assume that everybody is being critical of you, and you need to realize some people really do have your best interest, and they really do want to help you. Okay, although you may have made mistakes, what did you also do that was right? Okay, how did it affect you personally? You need to acknowledge what the emotional impact that it had on you. Don't say, "Oh, I'm fine. It didn't bother me." Like, yeah, sure it did. Okay. Not embellish the long-term consequences you may face in your own mind. Okay, teenagers are notorious for this. My life is over. He doesn't like me. My life is ruined. You embarrassed me in front of my friends. They're never going to like me again.
It's only a 7th grade girl.
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, and adults do it too. Shoot, you hear it all the time in politics, but we are not going there.
Don't.
Okay. How did you respond? And you know, this is one of the things, you know, where New Wine was different from a lot of the CODA groups is, oh, you have the right to do this, you have the right to do that. Well, we had a saying, sometimes you have to give up your rights to do what's right, okay? And yeah, you have the right to tell that person exactly what you think, but do you want to destroy that relationship? Because if you don't want to destroy that relationship, you might consider rewording what you want to say. You know, and you know, because yeah, you know, when you get emotional, you know, yeah, you don't stop to think about the consequences, you know, the long-term consequences of what you're going to say or do, and you know, that is very important. You know, your right to do whatever you want doesn't mean you should take it.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your overall response to an improvement or regression over what has happened on previous occasions? Okay, it's no. 4. Do you need to apologize to someone for how your behavior affected them? Okay, and that includes if they committed the initial wrong. Okay, just because they wronged you, that does not mean that it's open season for you to do whatever you want back at them. Okay, again, do you want to destroy the relationship? If you want to destroy your relationship, that's how you do it. Okay, if you want to preserve the relationship, okay, you need to to basically get that out of your mind that you have the right to do whatever you want, no matter the consequences. Okay, what led up to the situation that can be used in the future as an early warning that something negative might be looming? Okay, you know, talking about red flags, shoot, that's a whole other topic altogether. Is but also in you. Okay, this may enable you to take steps to avoid having the same problems consistently repeating themselves. Okay, persevere, thank you, through future problems that cannot be avoided. Because again, history does repeat itself. No matter how hard you try to stop it, you're going to have the same situations happen over and over again. Learn from the previous so the next time goes better. Okay. Effective post-crisis assessment requirements. Okay. Your willingness to be honest about your struggles. Okay. Your ability to believe in your own ability to overcome these struggles. Okay. And 3, the quality of your support system / network, whatever terminology you want to use. This needs to be made up of a mentor / life coaches / whatever term you want to use, the 12-step program to refer to the sponsors, whatever your flavor is, who share the wisdom that they have learned from their past experiences and mistakes, having personal experience walking in your shoes, and someone who has already mentored them. Okay, this is how you find somebody that's a good mentor, because a lot of people, they are more than happy to tell you how to run your life. Okay, they know everything. Okay, and those are the most dangerous people to have as your advisors, because they're so full of themselves. That's one of the things. If that person doesn't acknowledge their own struggles, they're not going to be very good at helping you with your struggles. Okay, notes. You may want to have different mentors / life coaches advise you in different aspects of your life. Back in the 90s, okay, yes, I had my New Wine sponsor. Okay, I also worked child care, in the preschool, and so that they had it set up where new teachers would be assigned a lead teacher who would be a mentor. Nobody was just trained and thrown into a class all by themselves to sink or swim. Okay, Lisa Rattan, who was the early childhood director, had it set up so that way every new teacher was put under an experienced teacher who would mentor, the assistants, so that way the assistants could eventually, lead. And so having, somebody who specializes in certain areas, might be advisable. However, you can also choose to have a single general purpose mentor, life coach, whatever, if it works better for you. It's just, whatever's, if you're just really comfortable with this certain person and they're willing to advise you on everything and what they've advised you has worked well, hey, go for it. Okay, confidants who, along with your mentor/life coaches, who understand they are not infallible gods, okay? That's made problem. Their job is to help you make informed decisions about what choices you should make, not run your life by pressuring you into making choices that they think you should make, okay? Because remember, you're ultimately responsible for the consequences of your actions, okay? So if you're going to be responsible for the consequences, you need to make the decision yourself, okay? The person who's playing God and telling you, you need to do this, 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 and this, are they going to suffer the consequences that you're going to face if it blows up in your face? No. If you're going to face consequences, you make the decision yourself, okay? Just because a problem may seem insignificant to them does not mean that it cannot be a major problem to you. And classic example of this, okay, is general purpose 12-step program. We had alcoholics, we had codependents, and we had food addicts. And I remember this one alcoholic, he said he showed up to a group and he was hearing that these people talking about how they're having these problems that they're having because of candy bars. And he thought that was just so dumb, but over time he came to understand, the underlying issue of why they were addicted to that candy bar is the same reason why he was addicted to the alcohol, and so that's what matters, okay, is you understand that, it may seem like a silly problem to you, but if it's major to them, then it's major, okay, and you need to treat it seriously, no matter how insignificant it might be for you. Okay, and they need to tell you what you need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it, okay? This is one thing that's, status quo 12 steps I completely disagree with, is they say, take what you want and leave the rest. No, you take what you need and leave the rest, because what you want may not be what you need, okay? And I definitely disagree with the status quo 12-step, quotas, when they say that, take what you want, anyways. Do not tear you down when you fail and or make mistakes. My sponsor, Ron, was really good, with me, on this. I flat out ignored his advice, did exactly what he told me not to do, and it blew up in my face, and like, okay, what happened, and assess what the consequences were and what I can do from there. He never said, I told you not to do it, you idiot. But God's going to prove me wrong, but I did. I failed. And, of course, cheer your victories. Okay, note. Although all confidants are good friends, not all friends are good confidants. Okay? The criteria for being a good confidant are identical to that of a mentor/life coach. The difference between a confidant and a mentor is growing up reach up to grab the hand. Growth requires, growth requires us to, typos. Growth requires us to reach up to grab the hands of those willing to lead us onward. Reach out to the ones next to us for mutual support. And reach down to grab those hands who are struggling to overcome that which we have already gotten victory, okay? A mentor is the one we reach up to, okay? A confidant is the one that we reach over to. That they're still going through the same thing, okay? And so that's the technical difference. No, they're both confidants, because a mentor's going to keep your confidence.
Yeah.
But somebody who's strictly a confidant, okay, that they may be in the exact same place as you are, but that's great. It's called mutual accountability. And sometimes they refer to it as mutual sponsorship. Is both people are sponsoring each other, which I don't necessarily care for that term, because you really need to have somebody above you, but you also need a group of confidants around you in order to give you additional inputs. So that way you're not setting up your mentor as a god who has to have all the answers. You do not want to be in that situation where somebody is playing God. Okay. Helping others who are struggling prevents us from embracing the delusional belief that we are the worst of the worst because we are the only ones who have as great a problems that we have, resulting in us stagnating in self-pity and self-loathing. Okay, that's why you need, in time when you're ready to, you need to become a mentor to somebody else. Okay, but first you have to be mentored before you can mentor somebody else. But and that's actually how AA got started. Bill W. Was a stockbroker by trade, and he went to Canton, Ohio for a business meeting that fell through. The deal fell through, and so he started getting all the press, and he felt like drinking. And so what he did was he started calling up the different churches looking for what was called an Oxford group, which was the forerunner to AA. And he was referred to this church, and he told the receptionist, "I'm around a rum hound from Brooklyn, okay, and I need somebody I need an alcoholic to help." Okay, I forget the exact wording. I got the first half right. And so she referred him to Dr. Bob, okay, the infamous co-founder of AA. Okay, and so because Dr. Bob, he was an alcoholic, still practicing. And this church receptionist had been working with him, trying to get him, to get on the wagon. And so she hooked Bill W. and Dr. Bob up together, and the end result was Alcoholics Anonymous. All because Bill W. didn't feel sorry for himself. So, 6 stages of. Huh?
I think you gotta take a break.
I'm almost done here.
Okay, because we've been sitting here for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I know. I'm almost done. This is the last segment.
You should know, these chairs are not comfortable.
Anyways, I'm almost done here. Okay. 6 stages of self-improvements, progress. 1, mentor/confidant/life coaches help you recognize that how you could have handled the situation in a way that could have produced better outcome after the fact. 2, you recognize on your own that you could have handled the situation in a way that could have been produced a better outcome after the fact. If you've done this, then you've made progress. Even if you're making the same mistake, the fact that you're recognizing the mistake on your own is in of itself progress. Okay, recognize during the situation that you're not handling it in a way that can result in the best possible outcome. 4, having learned to change, you learn how to change the course in the middle of the situation that's currently going haywire. Okay, yeah, my brain's starting to go away. I only got 2 more. Then we're done. You recognize from the start when you're going into a situation that it needs to be handled in a certain way in order to have a positive outcome and begin responding. Okay, and then finally, you develop the basic principles that can be adapted to specific situations that are so effective that you don't even worry about encountering them in the future, okay? So this is how it progresses, okay? Yeah, you're not going to go straight to step 6. It takes time. You know, it takes a lot of mistakes, you know, and a lot of time, you know, to develop, your stress management, conflict resolution, and all these other skills. It takes time to develop them, but these are the stages that you'll go through, and as long as you're seeing yourself progress to the next stage, you may relapse, you know, every once in a while, you know, but as long as you can see yourself consistently going on to the next stage, you're making progress. So don't give up on yourself.
All right. Do you have a place where you post these?
Yes. Like I said, I'm recording it and I'll be putting it online. So any last questions or comments before we go?
Not right now. There's lots taken.
Okay.
A lot of the things you don't say, you know, as somebody that is not autistic,
Yeah.
these things are things you bring out that we all have to go through.
Right.
It's just something that's a little bit more harder for people that are on that spectrum.
Yeah. It's harder and it's also more necessary. Because, you know, like I said, I know lots of neurotypicals, they continue to ignore every piece of advice in terms of conflict resolution, stress management, but they're continuing to go on.
Yeah.
You know, they're more stressed out than they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But for an autistic, we have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not an option for us. Yeah.
What's wrong tonight?
Yeah. So, like I said, is it a disability or is it a catalyst against what we should be doing anyways?
I don't think I think it's something that needs, it's something that just needs to be education.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and, okay. Anything else?